Hey guys, I am so excited to tell you this story. In fact, I have never told this story before to anybody. Well, I've told it to two people, and I haven't even told it to my wife. So it's a very special story. I was in an undisclosed location a while ago, and let's just say I was a foreigner in this location. I was in what would you consider a bazaar or a little town square, and there was a ring out in there. Almost like a circus ring. And as I was walking through, very crowded, people everywhere, I noticed that there was a guy in this ring fighting this animal, and you're going to laugh when I tell you what he was fighting. He was actually fighting a kangaroo. But this kangaroo was not like any kangaroo I had ever seen before. In fact, it was probably the biggest kangaroo I have ever seen. It was probably at least 9 foot tall, and it was nasty looking. It actually had a boxing helmet on its head, and it was all scarred up and everything, and it was basically beating the tar out of this man, and to the fact that it looked like he was almost dead. And so I was just trying to get out of that environment and trying to get through everything, and as I was leaving, this dark-skinned man came up to me, grabbed my arm, and said, "You fight." And I'm like, me no fight? I'm not fighting that thing. And I don't know who you are, and I'm just a foreigner. I'm getting out of here. But he kept holding my hand, and at a certain point, I felt God just really impress on my heart. Weirdly enough, God said, "You fight." And I'm like, okay. So I kind of resisted. I stopped resisting the guy, and I went with him. They had put the kangaroo back into a giant cage, and they put me in this ring. And to be honest with you, I am totally freaking out because I was scared to death because of what I saw. And also, this is totally bizarre and totally not something that I would do. And but I felt the peace of God. And in fact, there's been a couple times in my life where I felt like I guess God's Spirit just came into me and just gave me words to say. And this was one of them. At that moment, I just started telling the audience and this crowd, all these people gathered around, that I don't know what's about to happen, and I don't know if I'm going to survive, but what you're about to see is going to be amazing. And so they started trying to put these pads, these armor pads on me. I kind of felt like David trying to wear King Saul's armor, and I'm just basically saying, no, I don't want that. And so they start pushing out this giant cage where this kangaroo is. And at that moment, I just started getting very, for lack of a better word, primal, because I knew it was about to go down, and I needed to ramp up my energy. And so I just started screaming, growling, and just kind of hyping myself up to what I was going to do. And I was just trying to think in my head, where is this animal's weak spot? What can I attack? And so they get through pushing that cage up to the circle there, and they open that door, and it was just, I'm just guessing, because I wasn't even planning on doing this, I just started running towards the cage, screaming, growling as fast as I can. In fact, by the time I got to the cage, that kangaroo had come out of the cage, and I somehow got up to its eye level. I guess I stepped on jumped off of one of its legs, because they have their legs kind of forward, and I got up to his face, and the first thing I remember coming to is I was like basically, I'll keep this PG, I was poking his eyes out, and realized at that point that kangaroo just went down, and everybody started screaming and cheering, and I was just like, I did it, I beat this thing, I won. And there were some people that were angry because I guess I killed their kangaroo. And at the moment that I realized that I had beat this thing, that was the moment that I woke up. And I realized, wow, that was some crazy dream. And that's my story. What's yours?